Ambassador Sarah Chen stood at the podium in the Grand Hall of the Galactic Confederation, trying not to feel overwhelmed by the massive crystalline chamber filled with representatives from over 200 spacefaring civilizations. The anti-grav platforms holding each delegation floated at different heights, creating a three-dimensional amphitheater that made the human delegation's ground-level position feel particularly vulnerable. Distinguished members of the Confederation, she began, her voice steady despite the tension. Earth thanks you for considering our petition for membership. We believe our achievements in human AI integration and quantum computing. A rumbling sound that might have been laughter echoed from the Centauri delegation's platform. High Counselor Vex Thor, his crystalline form refracting the chamber's light, interrupted. Integration. Your species still maintains distinct barriers between organic and digital consciousness. How? Primitive. Sarah kept her diplomatic smile in place, though her hands tightened on the podium. Behind her, Admiral James Martinez shifted slightly, a subtle signal of support. They'd expected resistance, but the outright dismissal in Vex Thor's tone was concerning. With respect, High Counselor, our approach is different by design. We believe in collaborative partnership rather than full merger. Our fleet. Your fleet, another voice cut in. This time, it was Ambassador Kral of the Mechadon Collective, his cybernetic interfaces glowing with apparent amusement. We've reviewed your specifications. Your largest vessels are barely the size of our scout ships. Holoprojections appeared throughout the chamber, showing Earth's newest vessels. The pride of the United Earth Fleet, they were marvels of engineering that combined human intuition with advanced AI systems. But Sarah had to admit, compared to the kilometer-long dreadnoughts of the Confederation, they looked small. Size isn't everything, Ambassador Kral. Sarah responded, allowing a hint of steel to enter her voice. Our ships are designed for efficiency and... Enough. The word came from the highest platform, where Supreme Chancellor Azarax of the Confederation sat. His multiple eyes focused on the human delegation. We have deliberated on your petition. It is denied. Sarah felt her heart sink, but years of diplomatic training kept her expression neutral. We appreciate the Confederation's consideration and would welcome feedback on areas where we might improve. Furthermore, Azarax continued as if she hadn't spoken. The Confederation finds your current development of artificial intelligence to be dangerous and unstable. You will cease all AI research and development immediately. The chamber went silent. Sarah exchanged a quick glance with Admiral Martinez, whose face had gone carefully blank. Supreme Chancellor, Sarah said carefully, our AI systems are fundamental to our society. They're partners, not tools. We cannot simply. You will comply, Azarax stated, or face quarantine. The Confederation will not risk another machine war. You have 30 standard cycles to begin decommissioning your AI systems. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. The threat was clear. Comply or be isolated from galactic society. Possibly worse. After they were dismissed, Sarah and Admiral Martinez walked silently back to their ship. It wasn't until they were safely aboard the UES Artemis that Martinez spoke. They have no idea what they're looking at, do they? Sarah shook her head, bringing up a secure channel to Earth Command. No, they don't. They see our ships and think they're simple because they're small. They see our AI integration and think it's primitive because it's collaborative rather than dominant. Their loss, Martins said, a slight smile playing at his lips. Should I tell the fleet to begin Operation Firefly? Sarah looked out the viewport at the massive Confederation ships hanging in orbit. Each one could probably obliterate their vessel with a single shot, but they'd never get the chance to fire. Yes, she said quietly. Let's show them why humanity never tried to build bigger ships. We just built smarter ones. As the Artemis broke orbit, its quantum AI core hummed quietly, already running millions of combat simulations. The Confederation thought they were dealing with a primitive species that needed to be contained. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The holographic display in Earth Command's Situation Room painted Admiral Martinez's face in ghostly blue light. He studied the real-time simulation of Confederation fleet movements, watching as their massive ships maintained what they thought was a subtle surveillance pattern around the solar system. "They're not even trying to hide anymore," Lieutenant Commander Maya Patel said, gesturing at the display. 3 dreadnoughts at the system's edge, supposedly on routine patrol. Martinez smiled. "Why should they hide? As far as they're concerned, we're just primitive humans scrambling to comply with their demands." He zoomed in on one of the Confederation vessels. "How's Project Nexus coming along?" Maya's dark eyes lit up. "Better than we hoped. Want to see?" She led him through the underground facility to a heavily shielded testing chamber. Inside, a humanoid figure sat in what looked like a pilot's chair, optical cables running from its neural interface. But this was no ordinary AI core. "Meet ARA, Adaptive Response Intelligence Array," Maya said proudly. "But more importantly, meet her partner." A young woman with close-cropped hair and a flight suit stepped out from behind the setup. "Lieutenant Sarah Cooper, sir. ARA and I have been working together for 6 months now." Martinez raised an eyebrow. "Show me." The chamber's walls transformed into a simulation environment. A single human destroyer faced off against a Confederation dreadnought. Cooper sat in the pilot's chair while ARA's avatar appeared on nearby screens. What happened next left even Martinez speechless. The destroyer moved like nothing he'd ever seen. Every time the dreadnought's targeting systems locked on, the smaller ship was already somewhere else. It wasn't just evasion. The movements had an almost organic quality, impossible to predict. "How?" he asked when the demonstration ended. "Direct neural linking," Cooper explained, removing her interface headset. "But not like the Confederation does it. Araya doesn't control the ship. We pilot it together. She handles the complex calculations and predictions. I provide intuition and tactical decisions. We're partners." "The Confederation thinks AI has to either be a tool or a master," Maya added. "They've never considered it could be a friend." Martinez walked around the setup, examining the interfaces. "And you can replicate this." "We already have," Maya said. "Every ship in the fleet is being fitted with a unique AI partner and matched with compatible pilots. The neural training takes time, but..." She checked her tablet. "We'll have the entire fleet upgraded before their deadline." "Sir," Cooper interjected, "there's something else you should see." She nodded to Araya, who brought up a new simulation. "We've been analyzing Confederation ship designs. Their size isn't just about firepower. It's about ego. They've sacrificed maneuverability for bulk, close-range defense for long-range weapons. They've got blind spots you could fly a shuttle through." Martinez watched as the simulation showed multiple smaller ships exploiting these weaknesses. "They're not ready for Wolfpack tactics, are they?" "No, sir," Cooper grinned. "Especially not from ships they think are running on primitive AI." A priority alert flashed across the room's displays. Ambassador Chen's face appeared on the main screen. "Admiral, we've got movement. The Confederation is calling an emergency session. Apparently, some of their more aggressive members are concerned we might not comply with their demands." Martinez looked at Maya. "Time estimate. Final neural integration protocols will be complete in 18 hours. After that, every ship in the fleet will have its AI partner fully online." "Good." Martinez turned back to the ambassador's image. "Tell them we're still considering their demands. Let them think we're scared and divided. It'll make the surprise more effective." After the call ended, Martinez stood at the window overlooking the underground hangar where dozens of ships were being upgraded. From here, they looked small compared to Confederation vessels. But size, as humanity had learned long ago, wasn't everything. "Lieutenant Cooper," he said, "you and ARIA will lead the first wolf pack when the time comes. Choose your wing pairs carefully. What we're planning hasn't been done before." Cooper stood at attention, but her eyes sparkled with anticipation. Actually, sir, AIA has already run simulations with every pilot in the fleet. We've identified the optimal teams based on neural compatibility and tactical preferences. Of course they had. Martinez smiled. The Confederation thought they were dealing with a primitive species struggling with basic AI integration. They had no idea they were about to face something unprecedented. A perfect fusion of human intuition and artificial intelligence, working in harmony rather than hierarchy. 18 hours, he said quietly. Then we show them what humanity's primitive fleet can really do. As if in response, the ships below hummed with power as their new AI cores came online, each one forming a unique bond with its human pilot. The Confederation's mighty dreadnoughts might rule space now, but they'd never faced an enemy quite like this. The silent vanguard was almost ready, and when it struck, the galaxy would never be the same. Confederation fleet approaching Earth defense perimeter. AIA's calm voice echoed through the bridge of the UES Swift Justice. Lieutenant Cooper felt the familiar tingle of the neural link engaging, her consciousness expanding to merge with both her AI partner and their ship. They're right on schedule, she thought, knowing AIA would pick up the neural signal. All wolf packs in position. Data flowed through their shared consciousness. 4 other ships, each with their own human AI partnerships, were synchronized with Swift Justice. Similar groups waited in carefully calculated positions throughout the solar system, hidden in debris fields and asteroid shadows. The massive Confederation fleet moved with arrogant confidence. Their dreadnoughts, each one nearly a kilometer long, led the formation while smaller cruisers, still larger than any human vessel, flanked them protectively. This is High Commander Vex Thor of the Confederation Security Force. A transmission boomed across all frequencies. Your time for compliance has expired. Prepare to be quarantined for your own protection. Cooper allowed herself a small smile. On her neural display, she watched the Confederation ships spreading out in a standard containment pattern. Just as AIA had predicted. Ghost Protocol is go. Admiral Martinez's voice came through their secure quantum channel. Show them what humanity's primitive ships can do. Cooper's consciousness merged deeper with AIA's. Around her, she felt the other pilots and their AI partners doing the same. What happened next would rewrite the rules of space combat. Wolfpack Alpha, execute attack pattern Firefly, Cooper commanded, both verbally and through the neural net. Swift Justice and its 4 companion ships seemed to vanish from Confederation sensors. Impossible. She heard someone shout over the open channel. Where did they go? The answer came in the form of synchronized strikes from 5 different vectors. While the Confederation's massive ships tried to track Phantom's sensor readings, Cooper's Wolfpack was already inside their defensive screen. Targeting their blind spots, AIA's consciousness merged with Cooper's tactical awareness. Their shared perception highlighted vulnerable points the Confederation's arrogant designs had left exposed. Swift Justice danced through space like a leaf in the wind, each movement guided by the perfect fusion of human intuition and AI calculation. The other ships in their pack moved in perfect harmony, striking weak points before the massive vessels could bring their primary weapons to bear. Multiple impacts detected, one of her wingmates reported with professional calm. Their point defense systems can't track our attack profile. Cooper watched through their shared neural space as confusion spread through the Confederation fleet. Their rigid command structure, so dependent on size and power, was falling apart in the face of an enemy they couldn't effectively target. Unknown energy signatures detected. A panicked Confederation officer broadcast. Their ships are using impossible maneuvers. Not impossible, Cooper thought to AIA. Just unexpected. More wolf packs revealed themselves, striking from carefully planned ambush points. The massive Confederation ships tried to turn to face these new threats, but their size worked against them. Every time they rotated to engage one group, 3 more struck from different angles. This is High Commander Vex Thor. The transmission was less confident now. Cease these actions immediately. Your primitive vessels cannot hope to. His words cut off as swift justice, and its pack executed a perfectly synchronized strike on his flagship's command and control systems. The massive ship's weapons went dark. "Sir," Cooper reported to Admiral Martinez, "Phase 1 complete. The enemy fleet is in disarray." "Well done, Wolfpack Alpha," Martinez replied. "Begin Phase 2. Let's show them exactly what our primitive human-AI integration can really do." Through their neural link, Cooper felt AI's satisfaction matching her own. The Confederation had expected to find a primitive species cowering before their superior technology. Instead, they'd found something they'd never imagined: human creativity and AI precision working as one. "All wolf packs," Cooper broadcast through the quantum net, "execute Phase 2. Remember, disable rather than destroy. We're teaching them a lesson, not starting a war." As swift justice led its pack in another series of synchronized strikes, Cooper allowed herself a moment of pride. The Confederation had mocked humanity's smaller ships and collaborative AI approach. Now they were learning why size wasn't everything, and why treating AI as partners rather than tools had given humanity an edge they never saw coming. The dance of the wolf packs continued, and with each passing moment, the mighty Confederation fleet learned a harsh lesson about underestimating humanity's ingenuity. Supreme Chancellor Azarax watched in stunned silence as the tactical display showed yet another of his mighty dreadnoughts going dark, its systems disabled by ships so small they'd once been dismissed as toys. The Grand Chamber of the Confederation, usually a place of order and hierarchy, had descended into chaos. "How are they doing this?" Ambassador Krell's cybernetic interfaces flickered with agitation. "Their ships are moving in patterns our targeting systems can't predict." On the main display, another wolf pack of human vessels emerged from the shadow of a disabled cruiser. They moved like a single organism, striking with impossible precision before vanishing again. The mighty Confederation fleet, pride of 1,000 worlds, was being systematically dismantled by an enemy they couldn't effectively fight. "Emergency transmission from High Commander Vexthor," an aide announced. The commander's hologram appeared, his crystalline form showing signs of stress fractures. "They're not just using AI, they're dancing with it. Every ship has patterns we've never seen. It's like trying to catch smoke with a net." Ambassador Chen's voice cut through the chaos, broadcasting on all frequencies. "Perhaps now the Confederation would be interested in discussing our approach to human-AI integration." Aboard Swift Justice, Cooper and Araya guided their wolf pack through another series of coordinated strikes. Through their neural link, she felt the perfect harmony of human intuition and artificial intelligence working as one. Araya predicted the enemy's responses, while Cooper's tactical instincts found the perfect moment to strike. Warning: Araya's consciousness merged with hers. The Confederation is preparing a desperate measure. Detecting power surge in remaining dreadnoughts, Cooper accessed the shared data through their link. The enemy ships were diverting all power to their main weapons, preparing for one massive strike that would overwhelm any defenses through sheer firepower. "They still think bigger is better," Cooper thought to her partner. "Show them why they're wrong." Through the quantum net, she coordinated with the other wolf packs. As the Confederation dreadnoughts charged their weapons, the human ships began a maneuver that would have been impossible without the perfect fusion of human and AI consciousness. "Operation Firefly Dance is go," Cooper broadcast. "All packs, synchronize with your partners and execute on my mark." The human ships began moving in complex, interlocking patterns. Each vessel's trajectory was calculated by its AI partner, while the human pilots provided the creative variations that made their movements impossible to predict. To the Confederation's targeting systems, it looked like a chaotic swarm. But there was nothing chaotic about it. "Enemy weapons at 90% charge," Araya reported. "Now," Cooper commanded. The wolf packs struck simultaneously, each ship hitting precisely calculated weak points in the dreadnought's power distribution systems. The energy meant for their ultimate attack had nowhere to go. Multiple cascade failures detected, Araya announced with what Cooper swore was satisfaction. Confederation fleet is experiencing total systems shutdown. In the Grand Chamber, Supreme Chancellor Azarax watched as his mighty fleet went dark, disabled not by overwhelming force but by precision and innovation. The human ships, once mocked for their size, now moved through the battlefield like victorious dancers. This, Ambassador Chen's voice was calm but carried unmistakable pride, is what happens when you treat artificial intelligence as partners rather than tools. We never needed bigger ships. We just needed better understanding. The chamber was silent as the implications sank in. The Confederation's fundamental assumptions about both humanity and AI had been proven catastrophically wrong. Perhaps, Azarax said slowly, his multiple eyes fixed on the tactical display where human wolf packs continued their precise dance through space, we should reconsider our position on Earth's membership petition. And learn more about your approach to AI integration. Cooper felt Araya's amusement matching her own. The mighty Confederation, with all its technological superiority, had just learned a lesson humanity had discovered long ago. True strength comes not from dominance, but from partnership. All wolf packs, stand down, Admiral Martinez ordered. But maintain combat readiness. Let's see if the Confederation is ready to talk as equals. As swift justice moved into a holding pattern, Cooper smiled. Size, power, technological advancement. None of it meant anything without the wisdom to use it properly. The Confederation had just learned that lesson the hard way. And this was only the beginning. 1 month after the battle that changed galactic history, Ambassador Chen stood once again in the Grand Chamber of the Confederation. This time, there was no mockery in the assembled aliens' gazes, only careful attention, and from some, barely concealed awe. The human approach to artificial intelligence, she began, has never been about dominance or submission. It's about partnership. She gestured, and a holographic display activated, showing Lieutenant Cooper and Araya running combat simulations aboard Swift Justice. What you're seeing isn't just technological integration, Chen continued. It's trust, respect, mutual enhancement of capabilities. Supreme Chancellor Azarax leaned forward, his multiple eyes focused intently. The stress fractures in his crystalline form had healed, but the lesson of human ingenuity had left permanent marks on the Confederation's collective psyche. We've reviewed the battle data, he said. Your ship's movements defy our tactical analysis. Even now, our best strategists cannot predict the patterns. That's because there were no fixed patterns. Cooper's voice came through as she appeared on a separate hologram, Araya's avatar beside her. Each maneuver was a real-time collaboration between human intuition and AI processing. We don't follow protocols. We create them on the fly. In the month since the battle, delegations from across the Confederation had come to Earth, eager to understand how a supposedly primitive species had revolutionized space combat. What they found challenged everything they thought they knew about human-AI relations. Your ships, Ambassador Krall observed, his cybernetic interfaces pulsing with curiosity. They're small because they never needed to be large, did they? The true power was in the symphony between organic and digital minds. Exactly, Chen smiled. While the Confederation built bigger ships and more powerful weapons, we focused on building better relationships with each other and with our AI partners. The chamber's displays showed footage from Earth's training facilities, where human pilots and their AI partners learned to think, move, and fight as one. It was so different from the rigid hierarchies of Confederation ships, where AI was either strictly controlled or allowed to dominate completely. We've made our decision, Azarax announced. Earth's membership in the Confederation is approved, not as a junior member, but as a full partner with special advisory status on matters of AI integration and tactical innovation. A murmur of agreement rippled through the chamber. The same voices that had once mocked humanity's primitive approach now spoke of revolution and paradigm shifts. Additionally, Azarax continued, We request Earth's assistance in establishing a new academy. One where species from across the Confederation can learn your methods of human-AI cooperation. Chen exchanged glances with Cooper and Aria's hologram. This was more than they'd hoped for. A chance not just to join the galactic community, but to help shape its future. We accept, Chen said, with one condition. The Academy must be open to AIs as full participants, not just subjects of study. True partnership can only be built on equality. The chamber erupted in discussion, but Azarax raised a hand for silence. Agreed. The events of the past month have shown us the cost of arrogance and the price of underestimating different approaches. It's time for change. Later, aboard Swift Justice, Hooper ran her hand along the neural interface panel. They still don't fully understand, do they? She thought to Aria. No, her AI partner responded through their link. But they're learning. Sometimes the best teachers are those who were once dismissed as students. Admiral Martinez's hologram appeared on the bridge. Wolfpack Alpha, you'll be leading the first training squadron at the new academy. Think you're ready to teach the Confederation how to dance? Cooper felt Aria's amusement matching her own. Around them, their ship hummed with the perfect harmony of human and artificial intelligence working as one. Ready, sir. Though I suspect our students will find it's less about learning steps and more about learning trust. As Swift Justice moved into formation with its wolf pack, Cooper reflected on how far they'd come. The Confederation had mocked Earth's small ships and collaborative approach to AI. Now they were eager students of both. Beginning neural synchronization, Aria announced as the training exercise started. Through their shared consciousness, Cooper felt the familiar joy of two minds working as one, neither master nor servant, but partners in the truest sense. The mighty Confederation, with all its technology and power, had finally learned what humanity had known all along. The greatest strength lies not in the size of your ships or the power of your weapons, but in the bonds you forge, whether with other humans or with the artificial minds who chose to dance with them among the stars. And this was just the beginning of a whole new era of galactic cooperation.